My experience from actually working with the professionals, and just to give students some information, I was a trustee on our university pension committee, and I was an advisor, an investment advisor on the university's investments. And I've also been the chair of a charitable trust where we had to manage funds and then distribute those funds in such a way that fitted with the investment policy statement, which is something that we discuss quite a bit. I think the things that I really learned is that as an academic, we spend a lot of time doing research, understanding data, developing theories and models about asset pricing. And then while we can go and discuss these things with professionals, it's actually the action of doing and being on the committees where you understand how decisions are made. And one of the important things was having a lot of information in front of you about the performance of the fund, about the aims of the fund, discussing with the actual investment managers who are managing the funds on behalf of the investment fund. And what you learn is all the very important information that you need to understand. So that has been built into this course. So the purpose of this course has been to bring the academic side of it together with the investment professional world. How do I think this type of course will contribute to the employability of a student? Well, one of the things that we have done is that in addition to reading and understanding different concepts, we're going to be actually working with an Excel sheet where you do proper portfolio optimization. Now, when you are employed, you're likely to have a much more sophisticated program that would help you do portfolio optimization. But by understanding the actual formula that are built into an Excel sheet that contribute to how we actually reach the balance of our portfolio, you will have a sound and solid understanding of the fundamentals, and that will help you when you're in meetings with your employer and lots of other people trying to explain why it is that you're making certain investment decisions. Well, that's a good question as well. This is about why we're actually putting asset pricing and portfolio management together, but we're also highlighting them as two subtopics that we've brought together under one umbrella. The investment management industry is a huge industry with trillions of dollars being traded all of the time, and it is very much professionals who are working in that industry. Asset pricing tends to be more theoretical, and many people have spent a long time developing these kind of models. And we really wanted to bring the two together so that investment managers, when they are making these decisions, have a good understanding of the reason why certain prices of assets are what they are. You know, why it is that equities are priced in the way that they are. And when you've got that good knowledge of pricing, then you can be a better professional. That's a good question as well about the activities. What type of activities might a student be expecting from doing this course? Much of it is going to be understanding concepts, so taking your time, doing some research, doing some numerical and quantitative work as well. But we very much want to have a practical aspect to the course also. So I referred earlier to an Excel sheet where we do some portfolio optimization. And what you'll discover with this is that the world is not perfect. Like, you can put data into these types of sheets and you might want to get the most perfect result, which will tell you exactly how you should balance a portfolio, and you're going to discover it's not quite like that. A lot of our asset pricing models are debatable, and choosing the best model to forecast expected returns has been hotly discussed for a very long period of time. So we're hoping to develop both your practical skills using the activities. I'm sure your skills at using Excel are definitely going to be improved from doing this course. So we hope that you'll enjoy that. My research in finance, when I first started doing a PhD, it wasn't that long after a stock market crash. I won't tell you exactly which crash, but it wasn't that long after it. And I was absolutely fascinated with the impact of stock market prices, particularly, and it might sound a bit ironic, but particularly on families, because when things happen in the stock market, maybe directly it doesn't affect a family, but it does if interest rates start to increase, or if consumption starts to change, or if we go into a recession. That affects families very much. So I was interested in the reasons why stock market prices actually move. And as I became more involved with it, I became interested in something called stock market predictability. And this is really because the way prices change is actually very, very difficult to forecast what's going to happen to stock market prices in the future. But what we have discovered are that there are some ways that seem to be related to overall risk in the economy that does tell us something about future stock market movements. So that's the research path that I took. But at this current time, I'm actually doing some research on real estate investment. So real estate, as we know, is an asset class, and we're looking at the reasons why real estate investment trusts may be somewhat predictable as well.